Hello everyone! In this video I will tell and show you how to make cars correctly in Crossout Mobile. Since I very often begin to notice that a lot of sheets are rolling in battle and most of them are beginners. But I've seen players with about 200 leveling and he drives a barn. For us mere mortals, those who don't donate to the game can make cars of two types, classic and irons. Let's start with the classic. Frame. The very first this to put in is the frame. The most relevant frame for me is the linked weight 2x4. But I recommended putting in behind a car with a model. More on that later. Next comes the cabin. The cabin must be carefully selected. The Terraro cab is suitable for almost all types of weapons, namely her universal ability. The most relevant are the cabins of a comfortable shape, low and small, but at the same time with sufficient supply of health and carrying capacity. I do not recommend the backbone cabin for beginners, as it is hard and easy to get into, and its ability only applies to turrets. Grovel I don't recommend it is either. It is very cardboard and break when touched. Also, it is rare, weak in terms of carrying capacity, and his speed in the game is not particularly needed. But making a car with a maximum speed of 40 km per hour is not necessary. 60 km per hour is carried energy. Plus, Grovel has a very mediocre ability. Well, I think it's not even an ability. Wheels. The best option is lunar, but since they are not available to everyone, twin wheels are good suitable for beginners. At the moment, lunar wheels are quite balanced wheel. They have good lifting capacity, sufficient health, and do not have speed limits. For example, Bigfoot have a speed limit of 60 km per hour. This is due to their size. The rear wheels are located in such a way that they slightly cover the model. This I will now talk about. Models. Models also need to be carefully selected type of weapon, wheels and cabin. Due to the fact that models depend on weapons, you need the designs and advance what kind of weapon you will play. I have guns on my skewer, suitable for them with active ones. Iron Cell, Chaos Timer, of the passive ones, Hardcore, Not Red, Rosenberg, Colossus, Explosive Armor, and the one listener are the two keen. Passive engagements can be used under armor because they come off in the middle of a fight. The characteristics of the vehicle will not change. I place the passive model along with the frame so that there is space on square below and the cannons are lowered. The lowered carbon and armament will give a privilege and battle, as it will be more difficult to hide and repel them. In addition, they are a more durable part, so if you want to place the weapon on a solid part, but so that they are lowered rather than standing on the cabin. Install the model that works. I put the passive model in the back because if you put it in front, it will slightly interfere with aiming and firing weapons. In other words, reduce the wave. So this engine in the back will serve as armor, and if an enemy suddenly jumps you out at me from behind, I will have a change since the back security strong armor. Low. Little to say about this. In a classic square, you can put the blade in front of it is this way. But if you are an old player, you can put two blows, and the second blade can be placed both in the back and in the front. Weapons. Everyone has their own style of playing with weapons. Whoever wants to play on that. But there are a couple of rules that are important for any weapon. 1. The weapon must be placed correctly and on solid parts, cabin, frame and donut parts. But I still recommended putting the weapon in the back together with the model. This is the best option. And a little about lowering the weapon. Do not lower it so that the wear of the weapon is reduced. In this case, it becomes inconvenient to play on such a skewer. 2. Do not make a hodgepodge. This is a kind of cars with different types of weapons. Because of this, it is difficult to use skills and battle signs. There are a lot of fulfillment of the condition or for a skill, and they are all different. Armor. Armor must also be placed correctly. Sheets and crates are optional. Although they are made quite simple, there is little benefit from such cars. Better to make a beautiful and efficient car similar to popular sports car. Paint. You can use any paint you like, but to get a privilege in battle, I advise you to take not bridge and not monochromatic colors. The enemy is so much easier to confuse because while he finds out what where is installed, you will kill him. The next type of car is regular iron. There is not much to say here, and almost every beginner can make such an iron. The only thing I can say is that the iron is a certain shame for building a car. This has a privilege in battle. They can throw enemies at themselves using such a bevel in front of the car, and when the enemy is on top, you will be able to shoot him, but he will not. That a privilege. Complicated iron. Everyone can make this type of errands. Since firstly, for this, you need to at least pump the faction of nomads, and then you are completely unsuccessful in making the same errands as mine. But honestly, I gave you an example that there are such irons. If you are beginners, make ordinary iron. Now I think have a moment. Please don't ruin the video. This is important. I wanted to ask about the channel. What other gamers do you want to see on my channel? Write in comments what other games to shoot. For example, can I shoot guides on command blocks and Minecraft? I'm just a little tired of Crossout. I want something else to shoot. Okay, thank you all for your attention. Moving on to the last topic of the video. Here's an example of how to build a cool and beautiful car with Guerrilla and Huntsman cabins. I put 2 SM Hornet on the car from the weapon since I do not have such a starting weapon, for example LM54 Horde. And I also put on lunar wheels as I don't have twin wheels or balloon tire. Still, lunar wheels can be replaced with any wheel of your choice. And the R1 breezy model with machine guns. I did not have a conventional model, for example Frostbite 1. There was only this one. I use it as an example, and you can replace it with your choice. If you want more of their videos, detailed guides, and let's get 15 likes, and I'll start filming another similar video, but this time on the topic of cabins, what weapons are suitable for and which cabins should be crafted by beginners in the first place. Thank you all for watching. Don't build craters and ships, build cool and efficient sport cars. Thanks everyone. Goodbye everyone.